Your hand and yours and yours.
I'm
Yes.
going to keep it brief because we are believe we only at the second theme, right, the seventh subject, and we only have 5 or 6 to go. It's 8 o'clock. I think you get the drift that there's a lot of uncertainty, there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of worries, there's a lot of people living here that fully realize if this development goes the wrong way, and right now it looks like it will go the wrong way for most of us, we have nowhere to go. TIDA has been doing a reasonable effort to keep us informed and or to try to carve out, I think, what is reasonable for people that lived here for that long. I personally have lived here for 20 years. I started out in YPI, so I already have a relocation on the island behind me. I'm not looking forward to another one. The point I'm trying to make is simply this. TIDA's last documents on their own website, approved master construction plans, the last ones, 2015. We're living here, we hear, okay, ground is breaking, we're dealing with construction movements, we're dealing with really poor streets, power outages, now the toll issue. A little overwhelming right now when you realize that we don't even know what's going to happen here. All we do know is that there seems to be a tendency that tries to get rid of most of us. And the downgrading of our households, well, forgive me for saying so, we have families, we need 3-room households, 4-room households, 2-room households. You're eligible to get a relocation into a room that is into a place that is significantly smaller. And by the way, there's no dryer and no washer allowed. There's no parking, and or if there's parking, it's only for 1 car. Well, I have a household with 2 people. I need 3 rooms. I need a washer and dryer. I need 2 cars. Be that as it may, it's not my situation, but many of yours. All they're telling us is you're not going to get this, 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 or this. And once you get that, the price you will have to pay for that. It's probably more than you afford anyway, so why don't you just move on, find something else? That's the tenor that a lot of us seem to be getting. Me too, like Paris mentioned, I went, and I wanted to keep it brief, I'm not, I apologize. I went to one of those meetings that asked me all these questions, household income, what do you want and what do you want? I got nothing out of it whatsoever in terms of a, should I say, confirmation that yes, we may have a future here. If there's one thing meant that you hear on this night tonight is that there's a lot of people that found a home here, not just in San Francisco, but this bizarre little island you came to visit now for the 7th time. A lot of us fully intend to stay here. And we are gravely worried, extremely thankful that you're here. We are thankful to you guys coming here. Where are the developers tonight? Is there any member of the development crew here?
Good question.
Wilson, Meany, Lenore, they don't even show up to these things because they were given carte blanche by your predecessors and the city council to do basically here whatever they want. And in the meantime, we deal with PSC telling us we don't own the system, TIDA does, so we can't repair it. We can only maintain it and repair it. That means more and more and more power. So all that you hear, it all ties together and us not being clear, given clear information.
Thank you. Yes.
Comment on, I forgot his name, but the guy would like to look at what he said about the programs, kind of being like a shoe-in for future housing. But there was something he said, I forgot what word he used, but what I got from it was like, probably would qualify, you probably would get this. Throughout the whole city, you know, there are new construction, but those are lottery. And I believe that even though there will be, you know, a section of homes for people who are in these programs, that's going to be by lottery. Let's say if you have, maybe like 1,000 people who would qualify, who were here before a certain date, so they will qualify, you know, for this new housing. But let's say they only got like 100 units. You know what I mean? So it's like, even though these people, you know, are being told you're safe, no problem, you don't have to worry about anything, it's gonna be by lottery. Not everybody's gonna get it, even though they're in cafeterias, all this stuff. It's like, there's no guarantee. And there's nothing, like, no one is saying concrete, you know, things, nothing is solidified, even for people in programs. I mean, I'm not in a program, I won't qualify, but I'm just saying that even if they do, it's gonna be lottery. Like, there's nothing about it, so like, not everyone, maybe a third of the people who are on those lists, or who do qualify, maybe less, will get anything. Everybody else is like, yeah, you're just like the other people. Like, I do not believe it. I just don't.
I saw my man in the red shirt had his hand up if you want to.
Radiation.
talking to people who are doing the testing right now, because the first testing was not done right. They say the contracts are not even let out to all new testing. So how can you say it's going to be done in 15 years? Someone said 20 years for something else. They said 15 years to complete the housing. Then he said something about 20 years. I don't know what the 20 years was, if the housing is going to be done in 15 years. But how can you do anything if the testing isn't even done yet?
That's right. That's good.
They're out there testing now, where the gas station used to be. They came in, the wind is coming this way from the ocean. They put the testing site over here, the testing equipment, and the field is over here. So you didn't get any results. Now they're out there testing the water. He said, we're drilling and testing the water. But they haven't done anything else. They haven't even let the contracts out yet. So how can you have a time frame if you don't know what the problem is? You can't fix something if you don't know what the problem is. It's ridiculous. Like this lady said, 7 years. Now it's been 20 years. You have no time frame. There is no plan. You let these guys come in and say, we're going to develop the island. But you don't even know if you can because it's polluted. How can you do something if it's going to be hazardous to live here? It's ridiculous. I'm sorry I'm young, but I'm fed up.
Can I add to that?
Okay, so now you got probably a number of comments about
Let Cindy add to that.
these rather than, I want to get as many people, it's 8 o'clock, which I said we were going to end at 8, so I just want to recognize that. No, I know, I'm not ending it, but I'm recognizing for the people who do need to leave that I won't be offended if you get up and walk out. But I'm not leaving yet, but I do, we'll have to end somewhat soon because of my staff, yes.
So, yeah, I'll make it quick, and thanks for bringing up the radiation stuff.
Absolutely.
Not a lot talk about it, but this being known as a fun site, and a lot of the toxicity cleanup that was happening, maybe in front of everyone, maybe I'd like to ask a direct question to TIDA, since they're the development authority, which authority over development. I would think you'd know an answer like this. The recent, actually I should say the continual press coverage that continues to come out every 4 or 5 months of something new that's discovered about toxicity and radiation, and this being a site that it's not really should be developed until it's actually found, you know, evidence of what's really going on. Is that holding up the development and making it difficult for you guys to come up with a timeline? Is it because of that?
Good question.
No, the
It should.
work continuing to clean up the island is not delaying the development activities. About
Should.
2/3 of the island, the cleanup has been completed, and that land has been transferred to the city, and that's where the development activity is starting. And for the areas where work is continuing, in the residential area in particular, you know, the Navy does have a work plan. They publish annually a site management plan in which they have a schedule for what they believe it will take them to complete their cleanup work. They currently project that by the end of 2021, they will have completed all of their work on the island. So that site management plan, like I said, it's updated annually. A copy of it's available in our office if you're interested. It's also available online through the Navy's website if you're interested in looking at that schedule.
So what happened to the results? There was radiation testing on our block. I think it was either during the holidays or even the beginning of the year. I can't remember. But they had to come back a second time. While this was going on, there was that issue with Hunters Point with Tetra Tech and how they falsified the sampling. So there's a big issue whether or not that happened or occurred here on the island as well. So I don't know who was actually conducting the testing most recently. If it was Tetra Tech, then we need to find out, one, what the results were, and two, if there's someone else who's going to be a watchdog and redo the testing, because if they falsified the information at Hunters Point, I'm pretty sure they're doing the same damn thing here. And with all of that said, this is why I brought it up, is that if we're going to continue to move forward with the development, before you can do that, and as that gentleman said over there, we've got to find out what the results are first. Because here you're going to go on and build million-dollar properties, and then later on you're going to find out that it's toxic. And then what?
Same thing's
So why
gonna
would you
happen.
even pursue that until you get the final results?
Power, you can't even sell it.
So the